Plywood can be used for just about anything around your house, from your roof to your walls to your dining room table. Stay tuned and I'll show you how I took this 24 square piece of 1/2 inch plywood from this to mount a 55-inch TV, all for less than $30. Here on your next episode of Wild Ideas DIY. We're going to begin our project by measuring and marking the positions for our mounting hardware. This 24 square piece of 1/2 inch plywood isn't actually 24 inches square, it's 23 7/8, which works out perfectly because the mounting hole pattern for our TV is 7 7/8 inches square. So that allows us to take 8 inches off either side. In this case, what we're doing is marking two sets of parallel lines 4 inches apart, two on the left and two on the right. To ensure we have enough backboard to support the TV, we're making sure the mounting holes for the TV are 2 inches up from the bottom and 2 inches down from the top. So what we'll wind up doing is cutting this piece of plywood in half so that we are working with a 12-inch by 23 7/8 inch piece. Here we are marking our cut lines for our 12-inch cut, and we'll just darken everything in so that once we get it on the table saw we can see where all of our cuts need to be. Our inner square represents the hole pattern for mounting the backboard to the back of the TV, which would be 7 7/8 inches square. The two outer parallel lines represent 16-inch spacing. That's where we'll be attaching the D-rings to the backboard, and the entire assembly will get attached to the wall once everything is completely assembled. With all of our lines drawn, now we're going to mark and indicate the span of each of our measurements. Our inner square is 7 7/8, which matches the hole pattern on the back of our TV, and 16 inches to indicate the span of the studs in your wall and where the D-rings will be attached to mount the entire assembly to your walls. X marks the spot where we will be drilling the holes to attach the backboard to the TV. And now we're going to place the D-rings on their respective parallel lines so we can make sure they are both level and lined up with the parallel lines so that they can be attached to the backboard, and the backboard will sit on the wall properly. Double check to make sure they're both even, top to bottom, left to right. Now mark your holes for drilling. Now we're off to the table saw. Here we are at the table saw with a piece of tape to prevent tear out, cutting our lumber down to 12 by 23 7/8, and behind the scenes I took the liberty to drill out the holes. As you can tell from the markings on this backboard, it's not the same one from the first clip, but the measurements are identical. So here we are attaching our D-rings using 1-inch 1/4-20 stainless steel screws. They will be accompanied by a 1-inch washer and a 1/4-20 nylon lock nut. This should give them more than enough strength to secure the backboard to the TV and hold the entire assembly to the wall. With our backboard now assembled, we're going to attach it to the back of the TV. We'll begin by placing the spacers that come with the TV into their proper positions. You'll notice that the upper spacers stick out a little more than the lower ones. That is by design. The backboard will be attached to the TV using a 60mm long M8 by 1.25mm metric screw. Because the upper screws appear to be longer, they will be getting a single washer, whereas the lower screws, I didn't have any washers available, so I wound up using a oversized nut that just happened to fit. But next time I'll make sure I pick up some extra washers to accommodate. We're using a 60mm screw on all 4 holes because a 55 would have been too short and a 65 would have been too long. As you can see here, we've got that nut in there acting as a washer. With everything assembled, 2 inches down, 4 inches spacing from the outer sides and 4 inches to the inner, our backboard is ready to be mounted. Using a stud finder and a level, locate the studs in your wall and mark the position for your 2 J-hooks, 16 inches apart. Pre-drill your holes for your 2.5-inch stainless steel screws and attach your first J-hook, secured in place with both screws. Get your second one installed. And just to make sure everything is lining up, let's put a level on it. Make sure everything is correct. Then go ahead, put in your second screw. And now you're ready to hang your TV. Using 2-inch stainless steel screws, that should be more than strong enough to hold up about the average size TV, 50, 60, 65 inch. And here we are with our final product. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And stay tuned for more Wild Ideas DIY.